Hey everyone, Meta Platforms is scheduled to report quarterly financial results when the markets close Wednesday, July 31st. In this video, I'll preview what investors should look for from Meta Platforms when the company announces those results, and I'll answer if investors should buy the stock before earnings are released or wait until after earnings to buy Meta Platforms stock. So let's take a look at what I want investors to pay close attention to from Meta's quarterly earnings release.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
Of course, the big picture items are revenue and income from operations, but let's look over that right now to address something more important before we look at revenue. And the thing I consider more important for Facebook, or Meta Platforms I should say, instead of revenue, is the total family daily active people. Now, when they last reported results, updated at the latest March 2024, they reported 3.24 billion daily active people, and that was up 7% year over year. So despite the fact they already have over 3 billion daily active users on the platform, it's still growing, and that's what I'd like to see. I want to see this number continue, preferably around the 7% range would be excellent if we see a number like this again from Facebook when they update quarterly earnings results. And the reason why this is more important than revenue, because this is the number that generates revenue. This is why Facebook or Meta Platforms generates revenue to begin with. The fact that it has over 3 billion people that log into one of its apps daily, and advertisers want access to that large group of people, and they're willing to pay Meta Platforms for the privilege to show advertisements to those users. So the more people that Facebook, Meta Platforms, Instagram gets, the better it is for its long-term prospects, more so than quarterly revenue numbers. The other number I'm looking at is ad impressions. Now, this is the number of advertisements delivered across their family of apps, and that increased 20% year over year. That's a huge growth rate in the number of ad impressions delivered. This is most reasonably explained because people have been spending more time on Meta Platforms, and of course the more time you spend on Meta Platforms, the more opportunities to show advertisements. So this ad impressions number is a sort of proxy for the number of hours people engage on Meta's apps on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. And the third thing that I'm looking at here is the average price per ad. When you have an increase in supply like Facebook had or Meta Platforms had with the ad impressions, you typically see a decrease in the price per ad, but they were able to increase price per ad and the number of ads delivered. That's truly impressive. I want to see that again from Meta Platforms in the second quarter. These first quarter numbers were excellent. I really liked what I saw from Meta Platforms. I've had Meta Platforms rated as one of my top stocks to buy all year, and it's because of numbers like these. These are really great numbers, and Meta was able to do this with 10% fewer people as they had major job cutting initiatives all of last year. They only had 69,000 employees as of March 31st, 2024. I'd like to see the number stay around this level. I don't want to have them go on a hiring spree again like they did a couple of years ago, which caused that major decrease in its stock price back in late 2022. Okay, now we can look at revenue and profitability. So in its latest quarter, revenue jumped by 27% year over year to 36.4 billion. And we saw why revenue jumped, right? They had more people on the platform, spending more time on the platform, and the company was able to generate a higher price for the advertisements that were shown to all these people who were spending more time on the platform. So it had all three of the big factors working in its favor in the first quarter of 2024, and that led to that big jump in revenue, and combined with the cost-cutting efforts the company initiated, led to a 91% increase in profitability. Income from operation jumps to 13.8 billion, up from 7.22 billion. So looking ahead, Facebook told investors to expect second quarter revenue in the range of $36.5 to $39 billion. Compared to the first quarter, that would be a slight increase at the midpoint of about $1 billion-1.5 billion in revenue. Quarter over quarter would be, and then year over year would be more growth than quarter over quarter. Meta said that its total expenses will be in the range of 96 to 99 billion for the full year in 2024. That was up from the range of 94 to 99 billion the company forecasted earlier. Capital expenditures, which is a big area of focus in 2024, will be in the range of 35 to 40 billion. That was up significantly from the 30 to 37 billion as they continue to accelerate investment to support artificial intelligence. And they expect this number to continue growing in future years. This is partly why Meta Platforms stock price has experienced a bit of a headwind in the last month or so, is investors are concerned that Meta Platforms is increasing costs again. After what they liked from Meta Platforms in 2023, which was a cost-cutting, cost-controlling campaign, 2024, they're ramping up investments again and in artificial intelligence. So that's an area that's concerned investors. That's an area I'm paying close attention to, not just because of how it'll impact Meta Platforms, but also because of how it'll impact the AI industry. As you probably already know, I follow a lot of the AI stocks, including the king of them all, NVIDIA. And if Meta Platforms keeps raising this forecast for how much they're going to spend on artificial intelligence, that's great news for NVIDIA. That's great news for NVIDIA. So I'll be watching closely for this number from Meta Platforms in its upcoming quarterly earnings release. So Meta Platforms stock is trading at a forward price to earnings of 21, which is on the medium end of where this stock has traded for going back a couple of years. In January of 2023, you were able to get this stock at a ridiculously cheap valuation. And I had been recommending Meta Platforms stock for a couple of years now because I felt these valuations were way too cheap. And even at current valuations in 2024, where the stock started trading at around a forward price to earnings of 13, I was saying that it was a bargain. It was one of my favorite stocks to buy for 2024. So now that it's trading at a forward price to earnings of 21, it's not as cheap as it was earlier in the year, but it's a better company now, given the rising daily active people, I should say, rising engagement on the platform as a result of effective release of the short form video format that its viewers are liking very much. I still like Meta Platform stock, and I would reiterate my recommendation that it's still one of my favorite stocks to buy. Now, to answer the question whether or not you should buy it before or after earnings, this is one of those stocks where I feel it's undervalued enough where you can buy it before earnings. But the less riskier strategy is to split up your investment allocation to at least half and half. So you do, let's say, $100 investment, you split it up and you do $50 before earnings and $50 after earnings. Or if you want to be even less risky than that, you split up that $100 investment into $25 increments, 25 before earnings, 25 after earnings, and then you do another 25 a month later, and then another 25 a month after that. By splitting up your investment into several parts and averaging your way into the stock, you lower the risk of downside and you give up some upside. But that's worthwhile because you spread out your risk over that time horizon you're deciding to invest in Meta Platform stock. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time and a lot of other videos you could be watching. So I truly appreciate that you chose to watch this one. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the subscribe or the like button. They'll both help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again.